Hi there, this is Kristen Ash Johnson with Body and Unity Yoga School, and somebody who's currently taking my FeetUp course asked about coaching the Vinyasa on the FeetUp. So I have some tips for you, and of course you have to listen to your body before you listen to me. Of course you have to notice how everything feels, but these are some things that you can try and see how they feel and see if they give you some stability and ease, which are the most important things in asana. I'll start with a plank and noticing with plank that I have noticed that my students often have their shoulders behind their hands where you're not using the stacking of your bones as a column to support you. So you're not getting the full benefit of having bones. You're just powering through all those muscles. Notice how my heels are back so I can really press through the fronts of my feet and lift my thighs. As I lift my thighs, I'm lowering my tailbone towards my heels and lifting my belly. So I notice this a lot in plank where the low back will get a deep lordotic curve and bend and not be supported by the belly. And I also notice this in plank where the hips are a little high and there's still a curve, and there is supposed to be a curve, but you don't have to take that curve out. Please don't take that curve out. It's normal and natural and good for you, but lift your belly so that you're not in a back bend, and you'll feel really stable in your plank pose. And then when you get to your head, once you get your shoulders stacked and your legs fired up and your belly fired up, when you get to your head, just tuck your chin in to lengthen the back of your neck and take your gaze slightly forward so that you can align the back of your skull with your heels in one nice long line. Now, can you do this on your knees? Absolutely. Could you do a forearm plank instead? Absolutely. So there's so many ways. That's what I love about the FeetUp. It gives us these extra options for different versions of postures that we might not have if we didn't have something to bring the ground to us in some situations. When I'm coming from plank into Chaturanga, of course, the heels are back in plank. That gives me room to come on to my tippy toes and squeeze the upper arms in. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here is pack my shoulders into my back. So instead of having my shoulders in front of my ribs when I lower, I'm going to keep my shoulders in line with the rest of my back. And I'm not going to lower my shoulders lower than my elbows, because that puts me at risk for shoulder injury. We have so many shoulder injuries because of that dip down in Vinyasa. And so let's think about stability and ease instead of crazy range of motion so that we can have just as much stability as we have healthy and functional mobility. Here's plank. Here's getting ready for Chaturanga. Here's your Chaturanga Dandasana. Long line. You can do this also on your knees. And then when you go to move towards upward facing dog, you can draw your chest forward, turn your toes over, and roll your shoulders back. Now, they should have already been back pretty far because they're stabilized into your back, but then you can roll your arm bones back a little more. Your elbows face back, your elbow creases face forward, and when you go to move into down dog, here's something really exciting. Turn your toes over, bend your knees, and pull into cat to curl up and back toward your down dog. Then flatten out your hands to give your wrists a really nice break. And instead of hanging into your shoulders, push your trainer forward and down, soften your knees, and lift up through your low ribs. And if you haven't noticed, I'm losing my breath because I'm using a lot of energy and effort for these stabilizations. I will show you in one swoop of movement, but I encourage you to practice some of these new ideas if they're new to you and see if they can help you in your practice. That's all I'm trying to do, is to be helpful. Plank, breathing in. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Also, you could do knees on the ground. Exhale, lift from the belly first, round back into downward facing dog. Enjoy. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial today because I have enjoyed making it for you. Take care.